Hello everybody and welcome to another reaction video, and this is one I'm very, very excited about. I've been waiting for this for a very long time. We're going to be looking at SKYND, their new video. Now, anybody who's followed this channel for a long time will know that I'm quite a fan of SKYND. In fact, Gary Heidnick was the third ever video I did on my channel some 8 or 9 months ago. Then obviously I covered Elisa Lam and is it Richard Rodriguez? Yeah. And all three were great tracks, all very different from each other, and absolutely fascinating pieces of music. And today they have released the new single of their new EP, I suppose you can call it, the first single off their Chapter 2 release, and this track is Jim Jones. Now, if anybody knows anything about Jim Jones, it's all well and good, but for those who don't, I will expand on it. Right. Jim Jones was born James Warren Jones in May of 1931, and was an American religious cult leader who, along with his inner circle, initiated a mass suicide and mass murder in Jonestown, Guyana. He was the founder and leader of the People's Temple cult, which he began in Indiana during the 1950s. He was officially ordained in 1956 by the Independent Assemblies of God and in 1964 by the Disciples of Christ. He moved the temple to California in 1965 and gained notoriety when his activities in San Francisco in the early to late 70s. He then relocated to Guyana. In 1978, media reports surfaced that human rights abuses were taking place in the People's Temple in Jonestown. US Representative Leo Ryan led a delegation to the commune to investigate what was going on, but he and others were murdered by gunfire while boarding a return flight with some former cult members who had wished to leave. Jones then committed a mass murder-suicide of 918 of his followers, 304 of which were children. Almost all of the suicides were caused by cyanide-poisoned Flavor Aid. I'm not sure what Flavor Aid is. I imagine it's something like Kool-Aid. And then he committed suicide himself by a shotgun wound to the head. So, he poisoned everybody with cyanide, which is probably a very slow and agonising death. And because he didn't want to go through all that, he shot himself. Coward's way out. So, this is actually a very well-known and notorious story of a religious cult. It's, Jim Jones is one of those names that a lot of people know if they're familiar with murderers, serial killers and stuff like that. So again, they're following their previous trend of serial killers and stuff. Now, as I said, this song's only been released today, so unfortunately there's no lyrics available to me to to read through, but we know the basis of what the song's about, so I think we'll just get straight into it. I'm very much looking forward to this because, like I said, I've enjoyed their other releases. So, yes, I think we'll just get on with this. This is Jim Jones by SKYND.
Camaraderie in harmony.
Well, already, you know, the video itself, very reminiscent of their other stuff. All the other 3 videos have had rather bizarre looking videos, and they've all been very, very interesting. And once again, she's rocking a very signature look, all of which, again, vary from video to video. The actual style of the singing in this is quite different as well to the previous 3 videos. The pitch of her voice so far, you know, it starts off with the very recognisable sort of deep, sort of synthesised, enhanced voice, which is, you know, is present in all SKYND videos and is like very recognisable. It's really cool. It's a really cool signature sound. But then she's coming to like the main early part of the song, and the voice is a lot higher pitched than it has been in any of the previous videos. So, you know, it's quite different. I love the way they've done that with all of their videos. There's such a variation between the videos that they've made so far, and it's really, really good. It's very, very interesting. Now, from what I can tell from the lyrics I've heard, that she's talking about like, come on brothers, come on sisters, come on children. You know, it's like this is coming at the point just before the mass suicide by the sounds of things. And he's saying, like, you know, they're onto us, they're investigating us, show your worthiness to the cause. And she even mentions cyanide flavoured Flavour Aid, or cyanide tainted Flavour Aid. And there's, you know, she said, like, get up and lay down your life, you know, lay down your life for this cause, protect the cause, protect the cult, protect the community. And then she says, drink the flavoured cyanide. So, you know, this is one of the things I love about their music. They get so many of the details of what happened into the lyrics. You know, it accurately portrays, you know, who they're talking about. They must do a lot of research when they do these tracks, which, you know, I mean, it's taken quite a while since they last released a track. But this must be why, you know, to research it, to then write lyrics around it, and then, you know, obviously you've got to write the music and produce it and all that. So, you know, quite good so far. Let's carry on. Yeah, one thing I do love about them is their videos. The videos are so interesting, and they're really, they're not abstract, but they're very bizarre, and the way they present them. And she goes through so many looks and so many changes in the videos. It's fantastic, and she looks great every single time. And the way she moves, you know, that really weird sort of jerky move that's associated quite often with horror films. it's fantastic, and I love, and I've said this a million times in a million videos, I love the way they change the vocal style. You know, it's fascinating. I love this music. I love the subject matter that it covers, because I have a fascination with serial killers and mass murderers and stuff like that. I love reading about them and finding out what makes them tick and how their minds work. And, you know, as she said, as the lyrics have gone in the video, you know, there's that line, they are coming, they found out, come children, come sisters, this, that, and the other, you know, as I said before, you know, protect the thing and, you know, kill yourself to prove something or other. I still don't know the logic behind him, because he was a very strange man. But I do like it. It's very, very good. Well, there we go. Jim Jones by SKYND. Brilliant, brilliant tune. I love the way it really built up and got really intense right near the end of the track as well. And again, changing up the vocal style more to her natural voice than the synthesized enhanced versions earlier in the track. But again, it had that sort of deep synthesized bit in the background where it's like, come to the temple, come. You know, absolutely fascinating track. And again, you know, covering a great subject matter. I love the style, I love the music. You know, the actual music in the background is quite different to a lot of the, to the other three tracks, because the other tracks had more of a sort of almost ominous feel to it. You know, like a sense of impending doom. Whereas this one, for the most part, in the early part of the song, the music wasn't that intense. But, you know, it had the beats and stuff in the background, and then as it got to the end, it got sort of really intense. Obviously, that's as they're getting closer and closer to the moment where they do the mass suicide, as illustrated by all the people drinking and then, like, the cups falling to the floor and the hand at the end. And, you know, it showed even like the character of Jim Jones standing there holding a giant goblet, pouring this red liquid into it for his communion to drink, whilst he just stands there and watches them all die because he said so. Fascinating subject matter, fascinating track, really, really good. I like the fact that all of the tracks that they've released have got such variation between them. You know, it's easy for bands that do like electro techno music to easily fall into a rut and use very similar sounding like beats and rhythms within the music, whereas SKYND obviously haven't done that. They've really pulled a vast variation. I'm really fascinated to see what subjects they're going to be using for the next singles, and I really looking forward to those as well. I mean, I've been looking forward to new SKYND material for ages, ever since I heard Gary Heidnick, which was suggested to me. I can't remember who suggested it, but I'm very grateful that they did. Because when I first heard that track, I was immediately addicted, and then hearing Elisa Lam and Richard Ramirez, my love for the band just grew considerably because of the way they tell the story of the subject matter, and they get so many important details into the song. I would have liked to have known more of what the lyrics were in this track, but unfortunately, with it only being released today, probably about an hour ago from when I'm recording this video, there was no lyrics available at that time. Unfortunately, I probably could have waited a couple of days maybe, but you know, I've been so looking forward to this track I just didn't want to. So that's my own impatience getting the better of me. But knowing the subject matter, and you can pluck out parts of the lyrics if you listen to it. So a very, very good track. Very much enjoyed it. It was fascinating. It was brilliant. The music was great. It was engaging. And like I said, I love the way it builds up at the end and gets really, really quite heavy and quite intense. I really can't wait till the next release of theirs. But I'll leave that one as it is. Can't think of much else to say about it. Now, anybody who saw a video a couple of weeks ago may notice that I haven't actually released any videos for about a week, and that's because I've been quite ill. I got a cold which turned into a chest infection. I'm not quite over it yet. I've actually partially lost hearing in my right ear at the moment, and I'm still very congested. I've got quite a bad cough, but over the last few days I was barely able to breathe, so I couldn't talk or anything like that for any amount of time, which is why there was no videos. But I will be getting back to my regular uploads, hopefully from tomorrow onwards, because I do feel considerably better now. I'm not coughing my lungs up anymore. So if anybody wants to make a suggestion for me to react to, then please do so. By all means, you can comment in the comment section below, or you can message me on my Facebook or my Instagram page. The links to those are in the description below. Do know though, if you do make a suggestion, it will take me a while to get around to it, because I do get suggested many, many tracks every single day, and the list grows faster than I can record videos. And obviously, having just taken a week off, you know, I'm a bit backed up. So I do write down every suggestion I get, so it will get done. It will just take a while to get around to it, I'm afraid. Excuse me. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. They are a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, mostly those aimed towards people of the alternative subculture, like wearing alternative clothes or listening to alternative music. Because people are getting verbally and physically attacked every single day just because of the choice of music that they have, just because of their taste in music, their taste in clothes. People are getting verbally and physically attacked, and it's unacceptable, and it's something that doesn't get enough recognition, but happens all the time. You know, we've got racism, we've got sexism, we've got religious hatred, we've got all this sort of thing, and you hear about these every single day, but you don't hear about the people that are getting beaten relentlessly just because of the music that they listen to. It's utterly ridiculous. I cannot, for the life of me, think of any possible justification that someone could come up with to think that it's okay. You know, you don't beat someone up because they like salt and vinegar crisp and you like cheese and onion. You don't beat someone up because they like chocolate ice cream and you like strawberry. You know, it's pretty much along the same lines as that. It makes no difference to your life, so why should you feel it's okay to attack someone for it? You know, it's something that needs to be addressed, and it's something that doesn't get enough attention. And the Sophie Lancaster Foundation want to bring more attention to it, and they want to help put a stop to it. They want people to get prosecuted properly for committing these crimes. They want them to actually, you know, face real punishment, rather than getting a slap on the wrist going, you shouldn't beat people up. It should be, you know, you're committing a hate crime. You're actively seeking these people out to hurt them. You know, it's not acceptable. It's something that needs to be done. Something needs to be done about it. And that's what Sophie Lancaster Foundation is trying to do. I think it's a very worthwhile charity myself. I mean, I've been through it myself. Many of my friends have been through it. I've been attacked Lord knows how many times just because of the music I listen to. And it makes absolutely no sense to me. You know, I'm not harming anybody by listening to it. You know, it makes me happy. That's all that matters. Everybody has the right to be an individual. Nobody should be judged, attacked, or beaten just for being an individual. If we were all the same, the world would be insanely boring. And we wouldn't get great music like we just heard. So, if you want to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can pop over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, find out what the goal is, because they can explain it much better than I can without going off on random tangents. And any help, any donations you can give their way, greatly appreciated. I mean, even if you buy something as simple as one of these Sophie bracelets, or even one of these Sophie bracelets, you know, every little bit matters, every little bit is appreciated, and it all helps a very, very worthwhile cause. And like I said, something I feel needs more recognition. But no, I'll leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.